Hello. Thanks for everybody for being here. We're really excited about this panel today. So I'm with a company called the Mortgage Exchange. We have about 30 vendors, best-in-class vendors in the mortgage industry that offers discounts to brokers. We're here to help brokers save money, make money, or stay out of trouble. And so I'm really excited about this panel today because we are talking about technology and the partnerships that are out there. And so I'm going to start with Harish today. We have been talking about this entire event about how competition breeds innovation. And we know that ARIVE is the best in class LOS out there. I think everybody here knows that. So, Harish, you had some big news that came out just recently. ARIVE partnered with the second largest lender in the country. And what I'm curious about, if you can just kind of elaborate and tell us, how did that come about? And what does that mean for innovation of ARIVE in the future? You have some really good partnerships out there, very solid partnerships with other lenders. So how does that shape partnerships in the future? And what does this mean for brokers?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone. What a question to ask at an EPM event. So I'll start just by saying the way we work, we are a very mission-driven company. We live by our values. Just like EPM, everything we do is driven by purpose. So our mission is very simple. We want to build a complete loan operating system for mortgage brokers and give them the widest range of lender choices so they can best serve consumers. Over time, last 4.5 years since we have been around, we have grown to more than 4,600 customers. So that shows the momentum and growth we have. And out of them, almost 1/3 of our customers were actually working with the second largest wholesale lender. So every day, every week, we were paying, like, when can we add Rocket Pro to your ecosystem so we can be more efficient, we can do our jobs better. So that growth in our marketplace truly drew that decision. You know, we exist for all of you, for all of the loan officers. That's how we operate. That's how we work. So since there was a lot of demand, we felt by adding the second largest wholesale lender will give more options to our community so they can do their job better. So that's kind of what was the driving decision. And I also want to say the way we operate is till all of you are on our platform, till we get 100% loan officers join our ARIVE ecosystem, we are not going to rest. We never stop believing, and that's what drives us forward. Thank you so much.
Woo! You certainly have a fan base out here, that's for sure. So tell me a little bit then, what does that mean for the future of technology for ARIVE? And what are you building to build? I mean, you said you want 100% of brokers using ARIVE, which is an amazing goal. What are you building today that's going to help you get to that goal?
Yeah, it's a great question. So again, when we look at how loan officers work and what tools they're using to run their business, we think of this, how can we simplify their life? What kind of innovation we can bring to the table that really dumbs down the process to an extent. You know, what most brokers want to do is they want to get an application and get clear to close. They're not interested in going in an LOS, clicking through 100 screens, moving from system to system, exporting, importing data. So we want to build this connected marketplace as an innovation where loan officers can truly live in one environment. And we can work with our partners like Cotality, we can work with third-party processors, we can work with the whole ecosystem where we are giving our primary customers all the tools that they can run their business. That means, what do we have to do? You know, AI is a big buzzword, right? Everybody talks about that, and I get this question every day. What is ARIVE doing in AI? So the way we see this is like, if we can bring more efficiencies to the table by including technologies, by getting the best lenders out there, by getting the best processors out there, by getting the best data aggregators out there, we will create a unique environment by which we can get 100% adoption. So for us, adding the second largest lender means now we can innovate more. We'll be doing a lot more integrations with many partners, like with EPM. We have a big project going on by which we want to exchange all information electronically. So the more we add, the more merrier the platform gets. That's how we see this.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to move on to Terri, who is with Cotality. And so your company has seen a lot of changes over the past 18 months. Originally, it was CoreLogic, has gone through a rebrand just recently. And when I think of CoreLogic, I think of tons of data. I think of big, huge contracts. That's what I think of when I think of CoreLogic. However, you've changed your focus over the past 18 months. You launched a new platform, the Araya platform, which I want you to talk about. You have rebranded the company and you have really started to put a focus on brokers. Can you tell me a little bit about how the company has evolved and why? Why brokers? What is it about brokers that you really want to focus your time and energy on?
Thank you. Yes. Hi. So I loved how you started with your mission. And at Cotality, our mission is to help everyone in property enable a smarter, faster, people-centric process. And for brokers, that means a people-centric process for you, for your teams, and obviously for your customer. And we were falling short of that mission for originators because our business model was entirely based on enterprise sales. And all of the top 100 lenders are our customers, whether that be for credit, flood, title, appraisal, et cetera, which is many people know the CoreLogic brand for mortgage solutions, but also to consume data. And what those top 100 lenders do with our data largely is enrich their portfolios so that they can be smarter about retaining and recapturing their customers. And we were missing the opportunity to serve smaller lenders and brokers because the data was really stuck. And we didn't really have the capacity to go small. We went public in 2012. We went private in 2020. And so when we had some new investors invest in the company in 2020, we took a look at how we wanted to invest in the business. Not only do we want to fulfill our mission, but we also wanted to retool to take advantage of all that data being available for machine learning, AI development to really pump up our analytics and then build the smart data platform Araya that we could then provide to democratize the data and the analytics to have at your fingertips in your desktop, right? To be able to enable it from ARIVE, from our applications, in any way we can to light up customers, to light up property professionals to be more efficient, more effective. And ultimately, our goal is to help you bring the dream of homeownership to life. And we think our data can help you retain and recapture the clients you've already served well before your competition. Competition and innovation is what you led with. And I think that's what was really exciting about what we're up to is to enable you to be more competitive.
So tell me a little bit about the success you've seen with brokers, because again, you've recently, I say recent, it's been in the last 12 months that you launched the Araya platform.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to go visit the Innovation Center in Dallas, which if anybody gets the opportunity to do that, 100% make the trip to Dallas and go to the Innovation Center. So tell me about the success you've seen, because that is a big leap to take that so much of that data and figure out what is actually going to work for an individual user who's on a month-to-month contract, someone who is very concerned about the costs. They need to see an ROI quickly. Brokers need to see that. So how did you kind of take that data and decide this is what we're going to do? And then you've had some people that have been using the platform. So I want to know kind of the success that they've seen and how they've been utilizing the data.
Yeah. I'll give you two examples. One of the differentiating tools we've been able to bring from enterprise to the desktop for an originator is called precision marketing. And what precision marketing does is it alerts you before your competition knows that a borrower in your customer base is starting to go out to MLS listed properties and look in them. And we do that by using cell phone devices, geofencing MLS listed property, and identifying when that cell phone crosses the plane of that geo-framed listed property, and we alert you that they're in the market shopping. We call that the home shopper signal. And think about the power of democratizing that so that a single person with their CRM database can enrich that database and know that that borrower is shopping before the MLS trigger or any other person can identify them as a home shopper. So Wade Betts, many of you may know Wade. He's with Empire Mortgage. He's in Dallas. He's on social media quite a bit. He's a subscriber of our products. And Precision Marketing very quickly identified for Wade 30 borrowers he didn't know were in the market looking at MLS listed properties. It's 30 people Wade didn't know. And he said, I'm in touch with a lot of my folks. I'm on social media all the time. I hope my borrowers remember me. But I did not know that these 30 people were out looking at MLS listed properties. So he got on it. He's already got loans in the pipeline as a result of having that insight. If you go up market just a little bit to a little bit larger broker, I don't know if he knows Marshall Gottlieb, Agave Home Loans, Arizona. Marshall subscribes to Precision Marketing. He has a 5x return on his investment already, and he's only been in the market with Precision Marketing about 6 months. So it's a game changer in terms of insights available to you as an individual or as a team that you wouldn't otherwise have. I hope that's a good example.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that you are able to structure the contracts in an easy way. So if we wanted, if someone wanted to test it out for a few months or they wanted to just see what kind of return they got, you've really taken a lot of time and effort to figure out how to do that most effectively. So appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to move on to Cheryl with Coastal Breeze Processing. And Cheryl has I would say, somewhat of a tough job. She does it really well, really, really well. So you're a processing company. You work with brokers all over the country. So if we're talking about partnerships, you're partnering with brokers. Tell me, how do you build on those relationships or create better relationships or more efficient processes through technology? And I really want to hear how you are managing that today and kind of what the look is to the future, because you're very reliant on the technology that the brokers are using. You also have to keep your processes efficient and communicate that directly to the clients that you are working with. So how do you do that? What do you see for the future of processing, especially in this third-party processing world? And how do you continue to make things more efficient and just really be able to double, triple the amount of loans that you're working on a monthly basis?
Yeah. So first, that tech alignment, like Harish was talking about earlier, is huge for us. The less systems that we have to use as processors to streamline that efficiency and the less friction points, that helps us. We've used internally, so at Coastal Breeze, we have custom GPT that we're working on internally for our own just repetitive tasks, things that we always use, that database of forms, letters, responses, different broker requirements, different lender requirements, because every client that we have has a different process, right? There are compliance processes for broker X, and there are different, methods over here. So for the team to have access to that information all the time is really key. The other side of that is trying to use technology to automate a lot of the systems that we can so that it frees up that human touch where our real focus and expertise comes in. So yes, can AI draft a letter of explanation for derogatory credit? Sure. But when you're dealing with borrowers and sensitive information and huge purchases and financial transactions where they don't know, what the process is, having that human connection is where we need to be spending our time as processors. As much as we can automate on our end, and then work with those partners like the LOSs and CRMs that integrate well with each other, that makes us key.
Yeah, that's really interesting to me. So we're seeing this emergence. Obviously, we've been seeing this emergence of AI. And we've had discussions on stage about, they're going to, they're not going to replace the agents, all those different things, which I agree with. But you also have brokers who say, or are looking at technologies that they say, I don't need to have a processor anymore. I can do all of these things myself, and I can save a bunch of money per file, and I don't have to worry about it. What do you say to those to those brokers who you're speaking with who think that AI is just going to replace the processor altogether?
So AI is going to help streamline it for sure, but it's not going to replace that human connection, and it's not going to bring that expertise when, listen, we can search guidelines all day long, and AI will pop them out and it'll give you your guideline reference. But in order to work with the specific lender on a specific product on that specific file that needs a human touch and knowledge and experience of saying, I know what that underwriter needs to clear that condition because this is how it needs to be framed. So we can automate a lot, and we can improve efficiencies. There's going to be ways to do that. I don't see third-party processors going away anytime soon. I'm not going away anytime soon, because having that connection too with lenders, with underwriters, like you establish those relationships too, where I can pick up the phone and call the underwriter and say, hey, Susie, what do you need to get this done? Like, that's not going to be automated. The AI bot is not going to do that. And they're also not going to care enough to do that. At closing, when, docs are wrong and things need to be adjusted and things change last minute, and we all know that they do, like, that can't be automated. And so I think we can improve on some efficiencies, but I don't see it going away. And I certainly wouldn't recommend it for anybody, because your processor is not your computer. Your processor is your partner. Your processor is part of your team, whether it's third party, internal, your borrowers are my borrowers. Like, we are all a team and we all want to get to the same finish line. And so you're not going to find AI with that type of motivation versus humans.
Yeah. Well, I actually want Harish to hop in here too, because with ARIVE and the future of AI, obviously Cheryl's very familiar with your system. She works in it every day. So tell me what you think about what she's saying right now about the future of processing in mortgage.
Yeah, so I'll go one step further. She hit all the right notes about the human connection. The big question that comes up, will AI eventually replace loan officers, right? So processing is kind of a downstream step, but the touch point with consumers, answering questions. So where does all that go? I think we are betting our company on loan officers. That's why we exist. But what we do believe, and I think this is kind of well understood, loan officers that do not adopt AI will get replaced by loan officers that do. Technology companies and platforms that do not build AI into their core infrastructure will get replaced by technologies that do. Now, what we look at it is, if we look at the whole process, since we are kind of a full platform end to end, which are the touch points which we can automate and which are the touch points that absolutely need human connection. So building that relationship with borrower, explaining to them about mortgages, what it means to them, we don't believe that's going away from an AI perspective. But what we do see is, once the deal comes in, can we quickly analyze all the documents automatically, flag any discrepancies, tell the loan officer, by the way, the income you have in the loan file does not match with the pay stub or W-2, what is in the platform? Absolutely going to happen. Likewise, can we build simple agents which can help loan officers try to find what's the best deal out there for the consumer in a natural, like, human manner? Like, that's how we work. So we do see AI deeply getting into what we are doing, but we don't see human loan officers or processors going away anytime soon.
That's great. We only have about 40 seconds left, so I'm gonna end it with Terri today. Relationships matter. Face-to-face matters, as we talked about. An AI bot cannot replace that face-to-face. So relationships, the data that Cotality has, how do you enhance relationships in the future with that? And what are you guys working on to continue to enhance relationships?
Yeah, a lot of agentic AI and Gen AI incorporated into our data. So for many of you are familiar with market intelligence. It's a similar product to like an MMI, or all of your property transactions, real estate agent relationships, builders, anyone active in a market nationwide. so much easier to engage in a system that will help you very quickly identify your target market or help you identify markets that are growing sort of in advance. So AI will enable all of that. And those, what that translates to is you're just much quicker to identify the folks you want to build relationships with. Doesn't replace building the relationship. It just gets you to the right people faster.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you. Appreciate this today. We're all here if you want to speak to us afterwards. Thank you.
So one fun fact, she lives 2 miles from where I'm located, and we always meet up at events. And I'm on Facebook Messenger with Cheryl all day, all night.